Hey guys, Crypto Sunday, and it's a very green week. I'm sure everyone's having a lovely time at the moment. I'm up £35,000 for the week. Very, very nice. I'm sure it'll come to an end at some point. We'll have a pullback, but that's always comes in bull markets. Kind of a little bit early for a bull market. I was kind of expecting things to sort of really kick off next year, but we'll see. But yeah, let's have a look at the news. It does seem like a good part of this run up is still being caused by institutional inflows. You've seen the coin shares flows into crypto for the week, mostly Ethereum, $132 million dollars into Bitcoin, 30 million into Ethereum, so that's quite good. That had been sort of lagging behind. Multi-asset a tiny little bit. Solana sort of still, again, on the weekly, getting 4.3 million. The month to date is sort of lower because this sort of is early December, so that includes part of November, I'm guessing. Yeah, Litecoin down slightly. That doesn't get a lot. Inflows into short Bitcoin, interesting. People are sort of thinking it's a little bit too high. So people buying Bitcoin and short Bitcoin. Not the same people, I'm guessing. Still going into mostly the same areas as well, the Canada and Germany ETFs. I think Switzerland was seeing a little bit more last sort of few weeks, and they're sort of pretty much flat. US as well. Guessing that is the futures ETFs. So that's a shame. We don't want to see too much in the way of futures if we can. We all know the news is still going to be dominated by ETF news until sort of January the 10th at least. BlackRock have made a small amendment to their filing. Basically, seems to be reading as to sort of say Bitcoin is not a security and everything else sort of potentially could be. So yeah, they're sort of reminding everyone that you can't trade the underlying Bitcoin for other coins, which I guess nobody was really thinking, but yeah, just sort of dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Very unusual note in there as well that in case the SEC rules Bitcoin as a security, then the effect would have an adverse effect on the trading value of Bitcoin. I thought they've sort of always said that Bitcoin was not a security. It's the only one that wasn't, but it's weird notes that are sort of getting put in there. But I think that still all points to probably a pass of all 12 spot ETFs rather than sort of getting all of these, strange small adjustments made and then sort of rejecting it for a fairly fundamental reason. So I see it as good news. Fidelity as well met with the SEC. You had two executives from the CBOE, six from the SEC, and nine members from Fidelity, all met together to discuss the sort of inner workings of their trust. Obviously, very similar to BlackRock's, but there'll be some sort of small differences between the two. They're sort of putting together flow charts of how shares of the ETF would be created and destroyed, if you like. So yeah, unless they're unhappy with that, it seems the sort of staff in the SEC, the sort of compliance staff, are getting involved rather than just Gary and the other chairman saying no. So I've not checked DeFi Llama in quite a while. You've had sort of a little bit of an uptick in total value locked and that sort of thing. This is sort of obviously a large part on Solana, for example, because of the price going up. I think people sort of will be reporting this as hugely bullish for Solana. It's gone from sort of 780 million in October to 2.6 billion at the moment, and people sort of say, look, people are piling onto Solana, putting their, staking and DeFi business over there, but that isn't really. It's just because the token has tripled in price. So you've always got to come on to the Sol metric. This is how much value in Solana is actually being put on there, and it's seen a little bit of a spike. So you're at sort of 28 million. Solana was actually at 40 in September, so it's sort of come down and then spiked up a little, up to sort of 37, 36 million, but still a way off, and obviously way off the highs of sort of even in the 2022 bear market. You had some reasonable spikes, but yeah, good to sort of see a small uptick. Not the same for Cardano though. Cardano's sort of had a very recent price spike after sort of trailing for a little while, certainly trailing Solana. But yes, you've had, so they're at all-time high total value locked in US dollars, but that is just because the token has run up in price. But you are actually seeing a reasonable amount sort of go on there. So sort of just go to the last couple of months here. You had 650 million ADA sort of in October, and it's sort of been steadily rising into the 700s, and you sort of had a little spike the last few days, but it's cooled off slightly. But 727 million, so yeah, it's all-time highs. Things sort of finally getting built on Cardano, and people sort of starting to use their DeFi applications. So yeah, nice for Cardano, something at least to sort of put towards this price spike, which is good. Quite surprising, JP Morgan are very focused on the miners as well. They sort of have ratings on CleanSpark, Riot, and Iris, and people like that, and Marathon Digital. But yeah, they're sort of adjusting them, sort of very fine-tuning them almost. They've cut their CleanSpark rating to neutral because it's run up quite a bit. But they actually have a target price of $8, so it's $10, just over $10 at the moment. So it always sort of makes me laugh that they're saying it's neutral, but it's sort of expecting a over 20% drop. So yeah, a little bit unusual. That was $9, and they've sort of upgraded Riot slightly. They had that as underweight, but they see Iris Energy as the best. And they're underweight Marathon Digital. So yeah, for a company that, you know, Jamie Dimon was just out in force saying it should be sort of removed, basically, whether he's getting in on the Elizabeth Warren train and joining the anti-crypto army. He's always been sort of against it, but has been sort of relatively quiet recently. And yeah, you thought they would just sort of leave the miners alone, really. I know they sort of want to cover a lot of stocks, but yeah, sort of saying the whole industry should be removed and then saying you're, you know, overweight a crypto miner. Yeah, seems a little bit sort of two-faced almost. I know they're in it just to make money, but there you go. CleanSpark video is coming tomorrow, and sort of some interesting numbers going in there, I believe. So of course the coins for the week is basically who's the greenest, because it's just a green wall. Bitcoin is up 12.6%. That's obviously provided most of my gain because I'm still 55% Bitcoin. It's come down a bit with Solana going up. Solana is now my second largest position. It's overtaken Ethereum, so that's up 15% for the week. Ethereum itself up 10%, slightly behind Bitcoin. Chainlink 2.55% for the week. That's sort of run up a fair bit before and has sort of calmed down slightly. Cardano is the one for the week though, 51%. So finally starting to have some good moves. XRP 8% up, pretty good. Power Ledger 28% up, nice move for them. That's sort of the highest it's been for a good while, where a lot of the altcoins are still sort of lagging behind. Matic 12% up, Audius 15%, that's pretty good. Quant having a bit of a move as well, 15%. That's not been sort of moving all that much recently. Gala 23% as well, that's similar. That's doing quite well. Basic Tension token 7%, VeChain 20%, and Internet Computer up 15%. So yeah, overall, very, very nice. As I say, sort of ready for a pullback, however much we get. Not a lot of people are sort of saying, do you sell and sort of wait for the pullback? That's not really me. For all we know, you could get the ETFs approved next week and it spikes sort of 20-30% and then drops back 15, and that's the correction. So you'd be worse off selling and then sort of maybe buying in that correction, even though it's higher than where we are now. So yeah, I've sort of learned from the 2017 bull market. Really, it dropped 35% 5 times between I think 2016 and 17. So yeah, I'm always wary of taking profits until I think we're sort of really into the bull run. Although I do sort of not take enough profit even in the middle of the bull run. So yeah, let me know what you guys are doing, and yeah, if you're doing well, leave your thoughts in comments below, and like and subscribe. See you soon.